Hello there! I started playing Amtgard 8 years ago. And while that's not as long as some of the people that we've interviewed in the Paragon series, or as long as some of the people that I know personally, I still feel like that's a pretty long time to be in a hobby. And I was thinking to myself, man, there are a couple of things I wish that I knew back when I first got started. And so I thought I wanted to take a chance to talk to you about some of the things that I wish I knew back at the beginning of my Amtgard journey. And maybe I can save you some pain and suffering along the way that will help you advance more quickly. I'm Squire Callahan Ridgeborn, almost a Battlemaster, always a wizard, and there are a bunch of things that I've learned through the years, but the biggest, most important lesson that I learned was just buy your garb. At the beginning, I tried to, fight the good fight and make my own garb, and there are a bunch of reasons why in the modern day I just buy my garb. The big reason, equipment costs. Sewing machines cost money, material costs money, and it takes a lot of time to develop that sewing skill. I personally do not enjoy sewing very much. I find it to be rather tedious. I don't mind making like weapon covers for swords and stuff, but I really just don't enjoy sewing. It's kind of loud, and so now I don't sweat it. I don't worry about trying to make garb and get good at sewing. I just buy my garb because it ends up saving me money in the long run with equipment maintenance and just the materials and having to have learn through it. If you look online, you can find a good tunic like this one for not a terribly high amount of money, $50. And if you think about how many tries it takes to make a tunic, like I have tried to make tunics before, and if every time it costs me $10 to attempt it, and it takes me 15 attempts to get a good enough tunic that I'm not embarrassed to wear it in public, well, now 15 times 10, that's $150. I could have bought 3 of this tunic for the amount of money I wasted trying to get good at a skill that I don't enjoy doing. I really wish that I'd have known to play Wizard right out of the gate. I started playing Barbarian, and that didn't really match the skill set that I had, right? I'm a big guy, yes, but I am always worried when I'm doing melee fighting that I'm accidentally going to hurt someone. And so that led to me being not a very good fighter. It led to me being rather timid with attacks and over defending. It just didn't match. And I really love the wizard class. So what I would encourage you to do if you are just starting out on your Amtgard journey, don't lock into one class super early. Try a good handful of them. I leveled Barbarian all the way up to level 4 before I even tried another class. And I was on the verge of quitting because I was level 4 and I still wasn't winning sword fights and I still wasn't winning interactions. And it just was not working for me. And then I tried several other classes and I wound up loving Wizard. And it's become a huge part of my life now, being good at Wizard and playing Wizard. And just earlier I introduced myself as a wizard. And it really kept me in Amtgard long term. So try different classes. Don't get bogged down in the minutia of, I started this class, I have to finish it. No one's making you finish it. If you're not enjoying the class, try a new one. See what you can do. I wish I had known not to neglect my short sword. After finding Wizard, I really stopped trying to develop my short sword skill. I went all in on verbals and spell balls, and I had a short sword just hanging from my belt, and I never used it. And I didn't want to spar, and I didn't want to ditch. I only wanted to play battle games and do wizarding things because that's what I was feeling like I was getting good at. And if I hadn't neglected using my short sword so much and had gone into ditching and gone into tournaments more, I would be better at it now, and I'd be able to back up my wizard game significantly better with my stick skill. Because right now, I'm just a really run-of-the-mill average swordsman, and on a kingdom field, that is just not going to cut it. So, being able to, at the beginning, understand that short sword is important no matter what class you're playing, and actually focusing in on that, that would have been a valuable thing for me, and so I hope that's a valuable thing for you. I hate chainmail. Chainmail sucks. It's not fun to make. It's not fun to wear. Chainmail pinches, and it's kind of gross, and it's very maintenance heavy. So let's break this down. So it pinches. When you're wearing chainmail, if you are not wearing something under the chainmail, it is going to pinch your skin. It is going to give you welts and cuts and little bruises all over, because that's just the nature of it. It's metal that is non-rigid. It's going to move around. And if you are wearing like padded gambeson or something underneath that, it's going to be very, very hot, because the chainmail is going to keep that cloth pressed to your body, and it's not going to be very breathable. Chainmail is also gross. It has to be oiled or it's going to rust. Keeping your chainmail oiled or in like buckets of sand, it takes a lot of maintenance to keep it up, and it's constantly rubbing against itself, so you can't paint it like you could with like plate armor, and so it's kind of suboptimal in that way. And it's also very difficult to adjust. If you have gotten bigger or smaller, you are suddenly taking out chain or putting more chain in, and it doesn't match, it doesn't look the same, and it's like, okay, well, there's all this stuff. Meanwhile, on rigid armor, it's got buckles. You can alter how you buckle your armor, right? So I wish I'd have known not to bother with chainmail, because I had bought in chainmail and I didn't like it, and it turned me off to armor fighting for a long time. And then fairly recently, I got a nice gambeson and got some metal plates to put on top of it, and I've thoroughly enjoyed that. It's a lot better. So chainmail, don't like it. Maybe you love chainmail, but it's not for me. Another thing I wish I'd known was to go to events. I didn't go to events for like the first year or two, because I was worried about not being good enough. I was unsure if the cost was going to be worth it, and it was a long drive to go. And now I absolutely can't stand missing an event. Here in the Rising Winds, we have a bunch of Kingdom level events that are down at Billy Creek Village, and that is a 3-hour drive away, and I will day trip 3 hours one way, paying my $25 to get in the gate just to be there, because the battle games are so big, and no one cares if you're good, right? Even the players that are in the bottom 20th percentile can go and still have a great time, because there's so many players there. There's so many healers that are trying to resurrect their whole team. There's so much going on. You're able to get enchantments a lot easier, and it really is the best way to experience the game Amtgard. So go to events. Don't be afraid. Camp out. If you start camping on Thursday and you're there for all the Friday battle games, the Friday battle games are closer to Park than what you would think, because there's not as many people there. They're still much bigger, but it feels like a step up from Park without being too big of a jump. And then those Saturday games, when you get all the day trippers like myself, you end up getting a lot of people. So go, camp out, experience the game in the best formats out there, and don't worry about the drive. Don't worry about the cost. You can make it work, and you can go and have a great time, and I cannot recommend it enough. Even if you've just been out for a little while and you're not even sure of all your abilities yet, still go. You're going to meet people that can help you get better, and they'll come up after games and give you tips, and you'll have a great time. So those are the things that I wish I knew when I started Amtgard. I wish that I was able to go back in time and tell myself those things, because I could save a lot of time and I could get started with the funnest parts of the game a lot sooner for myself. So I hope some of that was relevant for you. If it wasn't, I'm sorry. Let me know down in the comments, if you're a long-term established Amtgarder, what's something that you wish you knew at the beginning of your Amtgard journey? And if you're just starting out, what's something that you think is going to be really exciting and interesting for you? So, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.